We are live. Happy Wednesday. We have officially 0 viewers right now. We are
Nobody's going to watch this Wednesday. It's just me and you and the Cliftons.
It is.
Oh, hey.
We are incognito today.
What was that you said about mute?
Come on, skip ahead.
Oh, that's right. We can talk all the shit we want if we're by ourselves.
Now we got 3 people already. Man, it's Wednesday already. Time is flying by right now. There's way too many things going on and not enough fun stuff going on. Too much work stuff happening, interrupting my fun time.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It happens. But
Thompson joining us.
Hey, Thompson, nice to see you. Welcome to the show. I did get some time to work on the old Baja Ray.
Baja Ray.
Yep, I am done with all of the upgrade parts for now.
Riff Raff in the house.
Hey, what's happening, Riff Raff? It's good to see you, man. Welcome to the show. I am 99% through the upgrades for now. And I got all the carbon fiber panels done and, all that fun nonsense. And now I just need to make a little cutout in the front grill. And I'm going to put a little LED light there behind the grill. So, yeah, a fun little truck. I'm super stoked that I got that.
It's nice to see you guys.
Yeah, it's nice to see you too, Riff. Man, I still have.
I'm assuming he's meaning everybody but me, though, which is fine.
Nobody's happy to see you ever.
Who's ever happy to see me?
If I know nobody can see it, but my channel stickers are actually over behind my desk. They're right over there because originally this part of the wall was open when my desk was over here. But I moved my desk over here.
And hit all the channel stickers.
But I got Recreation, I got Riff Raffs over there, I got Black Wolf. I forget who else is over there. I know those 3. I got Tony CC is over there. Fog City, Fern Solo.
You guys are over there, but you're behind a desk.
Yeah, you can't see you, but you're there. You're right over there. When I'm working, I can see you.
Oh my goodness! So Wednesday on the Shit That Needs to Be Said show.
Yes, welcome to episode number 18. That's right, 18 episodes we've had of this amazing adventure.
This is like the show. I'm going to hit puberty on this show. I'm an adult now. I'm 18.
And today I didn't really have any specific target talk. That's what happens. There wasn't any specific talking points or anything about today. It's just going to be kind of a free flow. It's going to be one of those Wednesdays. My tongue's getting in the way. I blame Tony Clifton. It's all his fault.
Damn you, Tony.
So it was just I have a whole bunch of notes. Just a bunch of random crap that I've been writing down.
And of course, as always, if people in the chat want to jump in with bullshit that they want to talk about, they're certainly welcome to.
That's right. And for everybody that has not been to this show before, we are a no holds barred, say whatever you want, talk about whatever you want here, as long as you no threatening the hosts, and B, try to keep it at least R-rated. We don't want to go full NC-17. Jesse Baker, what's cracking?
What's going on, Jesse? What you welding on today?
But yeah, we talk about whatever we want here. It's open. You can say whatever you want here. There's no censoring. There's no worrying about people getting triggered, freaking out. Do whatever you want here. It's anarchy. This is the Anarchy Live show, for crying out loud. Because damn people who just have rules for their.
Ain't nobody else doing it. I don't see anybody else doing it.
Everybody has rules. I mean, I guess it's rules, and they have standards and things like that.
Well, hold on. Let me throw up our PayPal real quick.
Yeah. I want to say thank you to all of our non-existent sponsors who don't exist, because nobody in the RC industry likes us enough to sponsor.
Still looking for that Depends sponsor, though.
Yeah. And, I'd be more than happy to accept a sponsorship from Flonase. They save my allergy-ridden ass all the time. Because, man, you don't know allergies until you move to the dirty South. That's for damn sure.
We got said hi to everybody and killed the chat all at once. Look at that.
Well, that's what we're here to do. We, we want to make everyone as uncomfortable as possible. I got to kick this week's show off with, how about Jamie Foxx? Has anybody heard about what's going on with Jamie Foxx? Evidently, he was getting prepared to start filming on a new movie, and evidently Jamie Foxx was maybe not vaccinated, or for whatever reason he needed to go and have a booster shot or get vaccinated just so that he could film on this movie. And evidently he had an adverse reaction to the vaccination, and now evidently he is blind and paralyzed, and he's been in the hospital for like 2 months. That freaking sucks. It's yet another reason why you should seriously consider avoiding the sticking the crazy juice in your body. Another one is.
How do you say that? How might riffraff? I had a few choice words on my channel about Rolaro. Rolar? I don't know if I'm saying. I'm fucking destroying that word.
Rolar.
What is that?
That looks like maybe an autocorrect. I'm hoping. I don't know what Rolarlo is. We will need further explanation on that, riffraff. Because I might have a few choice words for him too.
I love to talk shit. Hold on, let me help you.
Yeah. So last week, I know we had a couple problems. At the end of the show, evidently NorCal got booted, so YouTube saw fit to kick people out of the show, and then they notified me the following morning that the show had been limited in its monetization because I did not. I went afoul of the advertising guidelines.
Oh, really? Was that?
And,
did they finally give you an explanation of what really happened?
No, they did not give me an explanation about why or anything at all. They just did a human review was what I protested to get, and then they released that after several days. Not sure why it took them several days to watch a 2-hour live show and deem that there wasn't anything on here that was non-advertiser friendly, because whose show could be more advertiser friendly than the shit that needs to be said show? Come on. Oh, Relarlo is an RC company out of China. Yes.
That makes much more sense now. After he said that, I was like, okay. No wonder I can't say it. It's like, Tamil.
Tamil. I can tell you, Riff, I have had a few choice words about Chinese. Everything. I do like me some Chinese food. But I'm not a big fan of the Chinese government. I'm not a big fan of the the way the Chinese steal intellectual property and get away with it constantly. I don't like that the Chinese manufacture like 90% of everything that everybody uses in the world. I
Now,
think
unlike Rich, I hate everyone equally. So
I have an extra level of unhappiness and unjoy for the Chinese. They sometimes they are uh, sometimes they suck. Yeah, crooks and thieves. I agree with you 100% there. Speaking of crooks and thieves, ABC has announced that The View is canceled. They will not be renewing The View and bringing it back in 2024. So we can all say goodbye to all of the screaming, bitchy harpies over there at The View. My least favorite of all of them, Whoopi Goldberg, who's
oh
just
my goodness.
an ignorant, angry jackass most of the time. And Joy Behar is about as smart as a used piece of toilet paper. I said that out loud. So yeah, bye-bye View. Glad that you're getting canceled. Nobody was watching it anyhow because I don't know how anybody could sit around and listen to those jackasses talk for more than 30 seconds anyhow. So yes, Riff. Good riddance to them. So I got to make sure I cross things off because I'll forget that I said something and then I'll repeat myself later on. I never understood how that show lasted as long as it did either. Most of the time they were just flat wrong.
Hey, 907.
Howdy, Robert. How's it going? Happy Wednesday to you, sir. It is amazing to me. I spend a fair amount of time on the old computer and on the old YouTube, and it's still amazing to me how dumb people can be with wild animals.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I saw another good one earlier this week. Freaking lady tried to go up and like pet a bison in Yosemite.
Yeah, it
and
seems
that bison headbutted her so hard.
You see so many people out petting bison anyways. I'm just going to mention that.
It's really, bison's a big animal. I don't necessarily, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand how people don't get the fact that wild animals kill people all the time. And most of the time they do it because you try to do stupid crap like walk up and pet them. Oh, look, he's so adorable. I gotta go pet him. That is nice bison. Bonk. Oh, that hurt. Tony Clifton. The View and DVR. I just got home. Did I miss the good stuff? No, sir. We are just kicking off with some good stuff. Although, if you didn't hear, The View has officially has run its course. ABC will not be picking it up for 2024. Woo! Thank God we won't have to listen to those freaking crackheads anymore.
Yay!
But the sad part is there was a lot of meme fodder that came out of that show. So somebody over there at ABC is going to have to step it up. And
speaking of live shows, I didn't get a chance to watch a lot of RC live shows this week at all. Honestly,
I
think I snuck into Tony's for a few minutes. I don't think I caught Frank's. If Frank had, I don't even know, man. I've been so out of it this week. But Frank's is tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I did not. I
haven't seen shit. I haven't had time to watch anything or check out any. Of course, what was it? Somebody asked me We're not.
We're not
Fuck.
getting
Anyway, somebody asked me what live shows I would watch if I was going to watch live shows, and I told them I'd rather gouge my eyes out with a 48 tooth pinion than have to watch that shit if I didn't need somebody to make fun of. Like, dear Lord.
Yeah, I mean it.
So I get, you know,
we're getting to the point with. I mean, let's be honest. The reason why this isn't just a straight RC show is because after being on a straight RC, I'm gonna do that all night tonight. After being on a show that was very regimented and very strict about RC content, I came to realize that it's very, very difficult to have a show just talking about RC because there really isn't that much that happens in RC on a weekly basis. And I mean, pretty much you know, if you want to know what's happening in the world of scale RC, you can just watch Harley's Scale News Update every Tuesday. And in about 15 minutes, he pretty much sums up, you know, and even he has a hard time finding more than 3 or 4 things to talk about.
Has he shaved up yet?
No, he went to
I haven't even caught his live yet.
He went to, I did watch Matt's, one of his videos from the trip to the Rockies, and looks like they had fun. It did rain in there while they were there in Colorado. It looked like it actually rained pretty good because they were at one point they were wearing ponchos. But yeah, I mean, the world of RC just. We mentioned it a couple of times, even a couple of weeks ago, that I think Basher Boy brought it up about the innovation in RC really is kind of dead right now. There's not a whole lot of like new coming out now. As soon as now that I say that, I also want to bring up that Element has their IFS 2 that they came out with, and then I haven't quite decided whether it's just
the version 2 IFS.
Well, I think the version 2 IFS looks much better than the version 1. They definitely did that right.
Really quickly, I didn't realize you guys were talking about a forest fire. I didn't realize I hope you guys are all right. If you guys are they talking about?
I think there's a bunch of fires up in Canada right now that are smoking all over the place.
Had a rich moment. Yeah, I hope you guys are all right. And then what was I going to say? You don't have to shout at me, okay? It doesn't need to be like that anymore. Oi, oi. This isn't like AC/DC up in here. You can't oi me to death.
It wouldn't TNT. Be a Wednesday without somebody coming in here yelling. And Oz, our resident screamer now. I mean, Baba Yaga ran off and
Baba Yaga sauce.
He ran off and left us, and he won't come back.
What a fucking joke! I'm sorry.
Doesn't like us anymore.
I'm sorry. What a fucking joke, dude.
Doesn't like us anymore.
Yeah, we found out who you were. We know you came in here and threatened us. Whatever.
Doesn't like us anymore. Boo-hoo. I'm so sad. This is my sad face. I miss Baba Yaga. I miss being called all kinds of things, but that's okay because I found Jesus. So
yeah, Sean, I've seen your lives. I'm stunned and shocked, brother. I thought I was dirty son of a bitch.
Yeah, I can tell you, Sean, that the ad suitability, because I did go through and read it, and evidently, if you curse a lot.
Yeah, they'll take. Yeah, and I do. I try to tone it down. I know, but can I blame him? No. By the way, if you haven't checked out Sean, he's got like RC lives on Fridays, I think.
Sean, as far as lives are concerned, are not he is not in the. I would say he's in the not in the top 5% of the most boring RC live shows. There's some action in there every once in a while.
There's definitely some fire in there every now and then.
And there's Spent 5 hours today with a breaker and a cheater pipe, putting 2 of 6 set of brakes on 8,000 Dexter trailer axles. When I get this trailer done, I am going to RC repair.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah, there are some live shows that are they are drier than a popcorn fart in the Sahara. Is painful to sit for however long their shows go on for. And there's a couple of new shows that have come out. That one of them is running over on Instagram, and I believe they're doing their show on Monday nights. And I'm not going to say their name. I'm not going to promote them because whatever. You're not brave enough to do a live show on YouTube. Sissies over on do my live show on Instagram.
Look, these guys are talking about getting. I'm going to take it out this weekend. Lucky, Oz nearly got the wiring done for his 8x8.
Nice. I'm working on the wiring for the Baja array. Adding the light. Might even add some other lights on there. Just digging through my random LED box, looking for random LEDs.
All right, he got me. I feel like I should ask about this. What RC are you going to? What are you talking about, Dad? The hell? What RC are you going to repair? Anyways, I digress. What else? I didn't take any notes. I don't have anything. I've been so out of it. I'm taking a vacation this weekend. I'm taking time off. I'll be out in the mountains.
Vacations are not allowed. Oh wait, yeah, they are.
No, man, I need to. I feel like one of those. What is it? The shut ups, the shut outs, the shut in. I think. No, I'm pretty sure it's a shut up.
For ESC and UBEC powering 4 motor and axle, 4 servo. Damn. Any of the parts are way. I think he's talking about he's done working on like 1-to-1 stuff, and he's going to start working on RCs.
Oh yeah, hey yeah,
they are much easier to work on.
I kept trying. I'm telling that for the past 3 years.
He's trying to break. Robert's still trying to break all of his RCs. I did manage to break a shock on the Baja Ray.
You did?
Yeah. Well, I didn't really break it. It just pulled the rod end out.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because I tried to do dual shocks in the rear, and I just used the stock low-C shocks as the second shock out. But they were holding the suspension back, and I don't like having any limiting straps. So every time the suspension was topping out, it was just, and it finally just ripped the threads out of one of the rod ends on the shock, which, bummer. Hard to break the 24s. Yeah, I am super surprised at how tough. Whoa, hey now, at how tough this thing is. I mean, I put the aluminum links in.
No, I'm not doing the mini shit. Nope.
This thing goes blasting off the table all the time onto the floor, and it's still not even scratched. So, totally surprised at how tough those things are, and they do perform surprisingly well. Run them over.
It's like, oh man, there's a Tony CC comment coming. Is that it? Who needs a monster truck?
I added 2 new WL toys. I still want to get one of it's the 14001. It's the buggy that everybody was doing the speed runs and whatnot with, because that thing looks like a freaking.
Man, you got me. I did WL followed by a bunch of numbers. That's all I ever know. Like, it's one of those.
Yeah, I mean they are absolutely and WL is it's just one of China's off-brand things, but
well, I'm not saying I
whenever
just never had one.
But for whatever reason, WL Toys just happened to be the one that, like, it turned out to be awesome, and they're like dirt cheap.
Huh.
Speaking of dirt cheap, FMS announced that they're going to have their own event in Southern California. So now you're going to have Horizon's got Axial Fest happening. They've got Proline by the Fire, and now they're going to throw an FMS event out there, which
Fun. Nowhere near me, but fun.
why?
Well,
Why,
and
why does FMS need its own event? Evidently, sales for FMS are not going that great, so Horizon is hosting an event where you'll only be able to bring FMS, so everybody's got to go out and buy at least one of them if they want to attend.
Oh, this is okay. It's one of these deals.
I mean, that's how Axial Fest works. You can't bring anything other than an Axial there. So if you don't own an Axial, you got to go buy one.
You want to hear some shit about Axial Fest?
Depends.
Depends. He says, "Where? Yeah, I know, right? Like, hold on. I'm not gonna cross any lines. I might piss Axial off, but I'm not gonna cross any line."
Take care, Ulaf. I know it's late over there. Have a good one, my friend.
Have a good night. When I was at Axial Fest, I had brought a box stock Axial a 10-2 with me. And everybody's going through and getting theirs inspected, right? Well, heck, I wait until after it's all over. I mean, people are still crawling after they shut down. So I wait until after they shut down and I grab my 10-2 and go out crawling. Nobody looked at my vehicle to make sure it was an Axial.
Yeah. I think the only time, I think the whole purpose is so you get the little triangle sticker to put in the window.
Sure. I'll tell you where you can put that triangle sticker.
Yeah, well. So Element got a new truck, the U-Tron. I can't really say that I like the body. It's like the what's the 4-door Porsche?
Oh, the
4-door Porsche 911.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking the shine. Yeah, I was thinking the SUV, but you're talking about the actual car.
The SUV doesn't look so bad. The car looks pretty freaking terrible.
Yeah.
I kind of equate the U-Tron body to the 4-door Porsche. It looks pretty bad. I mean, no offense, Element, but you guys have done way better bodies up to this point. The Trailwalker body was great. It's kind of a square-ish Chevy Ford Dodgy mid-70s truck. The Ecto sort of power wagony. Gatekeeper was just a buggy.
Be right back. Going to the store. We're that boring. He's got to go get something to drink. He's like, screw this. Be safe out there in 907.
Yeah, the big thing with the U-Tron is obviously the IFS2.
How fast have you got this thing to go, Thompson? I got to ask. I see you guys talking about it.
Wait. What did I miss here?
Oh, they're talking about this Relaro, Retardo.
Oh, the
I don't know. I don't know if I should say that. That might be.
Yeah, ad revenue just went down the toilet. The thing about the U-Tron is Element throwing that thing out. It's RTR for $299.
I mean, it is silly cheap.
That's silly. That is silly cheap in today's market, considering that there are no other RTRs out there under $300. There just aren't. And
dude, you guys are just leading me into this. All these lines.
The street actually was pretty smooth.
The street was actually pretty smooth, like a woman. No.
I got it.
54 on 3S. He hasn't had room to open it up. That's cool, man. Are you trying to go for it like tops? Are you trying to go for a goal? You got something? Set it on fire.
54 on 3S is pretty damn good. You know, I mean, you got guys going speed runs that are 8S and whatnot, and they can barely break 100.
I've never tried to do anything like that. I figure that anything that's going that fast, he said, what's going to happen is I'm going to break my ankles. I can see this already. Like,
Pull Jeremy Griffith, get beamed.
You do realize at a certain speed you can't dodge the car. It's just too fast.
How about
I really just want to see if it'll do the 100-mile-per-hour they claim. Oh, that's cool. Well, keep us informed. We're dropping a link.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, RC Cape Cod.
Hey, Cape Cod, how you doing, man? So I was telling Joseph, because I just happened to see the video before the show. Guy in St. Louis getting chased by the cops in his SUV, proceeds to crash his SUV, jump out of it. He's running away from the cops, turning around, shooting at the cops, and the cops just ran him over. They sped up and punted him about 15 feet, probably 8 feet in the air, and then I think proceeded to run over him after they had got done punting him.
Oh, wow.
So good for you, St. Louis police. What the hell?
They really didn't like that guy.
That'll teach you to run from the police in St. Louis. I believe there was something else that happened with the St. Louis police that was kind of a big deal a couple of years ago.
You got a set of contact phone you're going to try this weekend. That's cool. I may actually get a little crawling in this weekend. Who knows?
I do not know. I have no idea.
No RC time for you?
I have no idea. I don't know if I'm going to have any RC time. I do have to say, we should all be very, very thankful in our happy little RC community that the wokeness monster has barged its way in. Because, man.
Don't say that. You're going to jinx us, dude.
And there are some companies out there that are getting their asses handed to them. Target, Bud Light. I see Major League Baseball put the rainbow in their logo for a day and then took it down. Yeah, we should be happy that we're. I think the RC community is relatively immune to the wokeness.
I don't know. I
think.
I gotta wonder.
Well, I mean, because everybody in the RC community seems so. They seem to they have such an aversion to any kind of anything that is out there in the real world.
If you're in the RC world, you can't talk about the real world while you're in the RC world. Everybody knows that rule.
Yes, because if you do, then you can break the time-space continuum.
Isn't June Rainbow RC Month? You son of a...
Mr. Brown, bringing it.
10 points to Dad already. Look at that.
I did like to see that last night there was a school board meeting in Glendale, California, where the Armenian community came out in protest of the school's agenda with the whole LGBTQ thing, and there was some Antifa people there, and a fight broke out, and the news media basically said that it was ultra right-wing MAGA white supremacists that were fighting Antifa and the LGBTQT supporters.
God damn, that's a mouthful.
I'm not sure. I'm not
How
sure.
many acronyms were in that fucking sentence, dude?
I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure that Armenians are not white. They're not white. They're not white people. They're I believe they would be consider themselves to be Middle Eastern. So, but the media instantly joined in, and all of them chimed in that it was white supremacists, because that is the most dangerous thing in our country right now.
Well, I mean, you can say that. Well,
yes,
actually,
Todd, I would say
no,
that.
wait.
Would get me put back on the limited monetization or possibly even a community guideline strike, because I can't say anything that is derogatory misinformation because I go awry of the community guidelines.
And I would say that. I didn't even censor you. YouTube censored you, Cape Cod.
Did they?
Yes. If you look,
they sure did.
It's in StreamYard here.
See, when YouTube censors you, I'll put that crap on the screen. Screw you, YouTube. Tired of your crap. Tired of you censoring bastards. It's our God-given right to be able to say whatever we want. And by golly, I'm not gonna let them take down what people want to say in the chat, because for crying out loud, it's like I said, it's free damn country. That's our First Amendment.
I can't believe it. This is like, yeah. Oh, sometimes
I'll jump on my soapbox here, and I'll in a few minutes, and I got a few things to say about the
First Amendment law.
The LGBTQ plus ABCDEFG community.
Look, I got nothing. I got nothing against nobody. I don't mind what you do. I just don't want it slammed in my face.
Nobody had a problem with it. Nobody had a problem with wanting to get married, wanting to have the same health benefits as married people. Nobody had a problem with that. Nobody had a problem with, occasionally in the most gayest areas, if you want to have a parade and run around with dildos on and smacking each other on the ass. Nobody had a problem with that. Have your parade every once in a while. Nobody had a problem with that. People started having a problem with it when you started forcing it. So you have to use my correct pronouns. We need to start teaching this to kids. Wow, what? That's where
I don't even know if I care about the correct pronoun shit. If you ask me, but don't expect me to fucking know. Like I'm gonna know that I need to call you they, them, whatever. And if I get it wrong, you don't have to jump my shit. It's not like, I mean, how do you expect people to just automatically relate to that? You mean the alphabet assault? Oh, look at one loco sneaking in the back door. 10 points to you, sir.
Nice. What's happening, Russell? Good to see you. Yeah, well, I mean, it's absolute the pronoun thing is absolute nonsense. First of all, it just goes to show that nobody that's gone to school in the last freaking 20 years has learned any English.
I just feel like you're setting me up for a trap. It's like you're setting me up. You know that I don't know.
This is the gross misuse of pronouns. And it's just wrong. It's improper. It's not correct English. It's not even correct grammar. And it's just ludicrous and silly. The main thing that needs to happen is we need to send a couple million people to freaking psychiatrists and psychologists and iron out the mental issues that you all got. Because, for whatever reason that makes you think that I give a shit whether you want to be he, him, she, her, they, them, VI, vamp, freaking asshat, whatever. I could care less. If you and your wacky buddies want to call yourselves that shit all day long, knock yourselves out. but don't include me in it, and most certainly don't force me to do it, and don't go crying to the government so that the government tries to force people inclusivity. Nah, no, it's not. Look, you represent a very small portion of the population of the world. So what that means is you're a minority. And that means that you get a seat at the table, but most of the time nobody gives a shit what you have to say. And that's exactly what we have right now. The only reason why anybody hears you is because you bastards are screaming louder than everybody else. Period. That's all it is. Squeaky wheel gets the freaking oil, and you have become the squeakiest wheel on the planet. But eventually everybody's already getting tired of you. Bud Light, Target, perfect example. I think Target is up to $15 billion in losses. Bud Light, they literally can't even give it away now. They were given a $15 rebate, and I saw a sign at Walmart that was $15 for the thing, $15 rebate, zero, and the pallet was still full of beer. My pronoun is Bofus. You can always count on Tony Clifton for some words of wisdom. Yeah, it needs to stop. And first and foremost, all this BS about, oh, we're not going after your kid, blah blah blah. You're the only people that are running around trying to stop laws from being put into place to stop doctors from being able to perform surgeries on minors and children are you people. You're the only ones. And you're the only ones that are fighting to have gay pride events in schools and fighting against taking, basically book porn out of school libraries. And we're not talking about high school here most of the time. They're fighting elementary school. I mean, for crying out loud, these are kids.
I'm going to have to throw 50 points to Cape Cod for that one. Pound me too.
Yeah, just absolute utter nonsense, and it just needs to stop. I'm glad that the community in Glendale last night decided to go out and express their displeasure with the school board there and the community members who want to defend that kind of behavior. Good for you all. Unfortunately, I think that things had to get worse before they could get better. And that is, I think, what we're seeing now is that in order for most people to wake up, things have to become ludicrous. And we've gone into ludicrous mode now, and now everybody's starting to see what an
Well, if you go back 3 years ago, there wasn't the shit that needs to be said show.
Yeah.
But I mean, now there is. So
I mean, it's just terrible. It's terrible. I mean, it's cringy at this point now. Wanting to have drag shows at schools, family-friendly drag show parades, which, if you see any of the footage, it is not family-friendly. And part of the problem is we've seen such a decline in society's morality that people don't understand that ethically and morally what you're doing here is bad. Bad.
Dad, YouTube apparently won't let you say that.
Less than 1%. So I refuse to change my life for them. Wait, did that see?
Yeah.
Damn you, YouTube. I'm just going to keep putting it up on the screen so everybody can read it anyhow. I'm sure this show is probably going to get hammered.
Oh, we're canned.
And
we're just so canned.
I have no sympathy for all of these big tech companies that have a royal, pardon my French, they have a royal ass screwing coming to them. This shit's going to come back and bite YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. I'm sure this is
Yeah,
probably
for the longest time, I thought LGBTQT was just like low budget. Like I didn't.
And Mom says thank you to Riff Raff. She feels exactly the same way. You
Yeah,
know,
absolutely. Like I don't have a problem with it. Just don't shove it in my face.
Yeah. Chat disconnected. Please wait while we reconnect you. Man, YouTube is all kinds of freaking sucking today. Man, they yeah,
Why
tell
said yeah,
me,
aren't our nation's heroes get one day? That's a good question. That's a good question.
yeah. Oh yeah, what it's we get we get all of this woke shit thrown at us all year long. This month, this Pride Month, and this group of people's month, and that group of people's month, and probably the most important people in the history of this country we get one day. I saw somebody today posting a meme that August is RC Pride Month, and not Rainbow Pride, but
I
Pride.
saw a meme that says I don't RC because I'm good at it. I RC because I like it.
It's like golf and sex. You don't have to be good at it to enjoy it.
That's right. Wait, what? It makes a lot of sense now.
Hey, here's another good one for our poor friends out in California. January 1st, 2024, officially the law kicks in that all of the trucks that are entering ports to bring goods from the ports out have to be zero emission vehicles. So, to date, there is not a company that manufactures a zero emission semi truck. At best, I think Tesla has said 2028 or 2026 for their big truck. Freightliner, Peterbilt, Mack, Kenworth, Volvo, none of which will be able to deliver zero emission vehicles before 2027 or 2028, I believe. So California is officially not going to allow any trucks to enter or leave any of the ports they're not going to be allowed to enter unless they're zero emission. So California ports are officially going to start having like Toyota Priuses and Teslas loading up all the cargo off the ships.
Little e-bikes, one wheels.
E-bikes, those little razor
scooter things, yeah.
scooters
that just get piled up everywhere. Like they just say, when you're done with your deliveries, you just leave that wherever you need to. Okay.
Drop it wherever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how Gavin Newsom. I don't understand how the man is still governor of California. The absolute garbage heap that California is turning into. How do you sign a law like that? How do you sign a law like that? Did nobody? I mean, at some point somebody had to go like, "Hey, by the way, nobody makes any electric semi trucks.
Right.
You're going to crush the entire port industry on 3/4 of the West Coast by doing this. The ships won't even bother to dock because nobody will be able to unload and take your crap anywhere." Nobody bothered to tell him that. Either that or he's got so much hair gel in his ears he couldn't hear it. But yeah, I got to say, kudos to all the YouTubers out there who are making videos about why everyone is leaving Portland, why everyone is leaving Seattle, why everyone is leaving San Francisco. Duh. You don't need to make 40,000 videos of it. kind of like when a new RC car comes out and there's 15 influencers who all get it for free, and they
Oh
all
yeah,
make.
did you catch that comment earlier about the parts? What was it? Thompson was talking about parts, but all the influencers are getting them. Like that sounds so familiar, dude. Uh, that thing about influencers, and yeah, I don't know. You remind me of a quick story. You know the Barbie movie that came out, right?
Yes.
I read, and I don't know how true it is, but I read that the Barbie movie had so much pink paint in it that they actually caused a shortage in the supply chain of pink paint.
That sounds too silly to not be true.
I mean, like you almost can't make that shit up. I don't know,
Yeah, Cape Cod. The great part is the the ban on like petrol powered cars in California that takes effect in 2030, which is beyond 2030, you will not be able to buy a gas powered car in California. They simply will be illegal to sell a new petrol powered car.
What's up
But
with this?
they do not have the capacity right now to keep up with the electrical use that's being used in the state of California. They've asked people on certain days to not charge their electric cars because the infrastructure can't handle it. And yet they keep moving forward with this silly green agenda that is it's silly propaganda. It's good.
Why? Oh, God, I hate YouTube sometimes.
Is our chat getting blocked here?
Yeah. God, I hate YouTube sometimes. Oh, you SOB.
Mr. Brown, the rate of cow farts from cows is astronomical. The whole entire planet is going to suffer because of the cow fart problem. Oh, propaganda.
Yeah, there was a lot of comments that didn't come through. I'm sorry, guys. A little bit more on that.
RC propaganda with the rainbow vision.
You're allowed to wave it all you want to, man. Just don't wave it in my face.
Yeah, rolling blackouts in California. It is. There were so many reasons why we moved out of California, and for me, the straw that broke the camel's back was the last few times that we drove through Los Angeles, and it is it's an insult to shadows to say that it's a shadow of its former self. Los Angeles is.
Ouch.
And
you really are being harsh now.
I mean, it's so bad. It's so bad. I mean, you used to be able to go to Hollywood Boulevard, Man's Chinese Theater, Ripley's Believe It or Not, the Whiskey a Go-Go, the
no helicopters in JB's face. Oh, fuck it. Another 10 points to Thompson for no helicopters in my face.
Yeah, I mean, you used to be able to go down there and there'd be some weird people. It's Hollywood. Right. There'd be some
homeless cities everywhere. Yep, I've seen that.
Now you go to Hollywood Boulevard and it's downright scary. You got a 50-50 chance of getting a shot. And they, I mean, we're talking billions of dollars that goes into the city and county of Los Angeles to help homeless people, to help the homeless problem. And you can see that obviously there isn't that much money being spent on the homeless problem. That money is going into the pockets of people left and right.
Does that seem familiar to you somehow?
I mean, the scumminess of the world and the greed of people right now is, oh,
Well, like I said, look at
it's
BLM.
astounding.
Look at Black Lives Matter. Or can I say that? Am I not allowed to say that? I don't know.
No, you can. $90 million in 2020. They took in $90 million. In 2023, they are $8 million in the hole, and they're filing for bankruptcy. They went through $98 million in less than 3 years. And everybody knows that because it's become quite public where a bunch of this money's going. And yeah, boy, oh boy. I rode a horse with a cigarette in my mouth into a herd of 500 cows.
Living dangerously on a horse.
I'm telling you, Mr. Brown is you're taking your life in your own hands right there. You're lucky, you're lucky that wasn't an explosion the size of freaking Hiroshima.
If he'd have been on an ATV, it'd have been a different story.
Now, if at any point in the future you hear of a large methane explosion, I'll be looking at you, Mr. Brown. Sadly, Lacos, we're getting less and less justice in the world right now. We just are. There are tiers of justice in this world, and the most greedy of greedy seem to never, ever get in any kind of trouble whatsoever. Nothing ever happens.
I don't know if it's just... It also seems like sometimes it's really easy to dupe people.
Well,
Is
yeah.
that just me? Like I said, you wave a good thing. If I wave a good thing over here and you're looking at this, you won't be looking over here.
Look at the amount of people that are running around right now talking about how the biggest threat to the United States of America are white supremacists. Our president said that. Our president said that, and the media just keeps beating that drum to death.
One-sided opinions.
Yeah, the media, it's actually...
Well, see, and it's easy. It's easy for... it's easy. I feel like it's easy for people to fall into a one-sided opinion about things. I feel like you should always keep your mind open and be exploring and asking questions.
But most of it is the fact that we've had 20, 30 years of a media that has gone more and more liberal and is more and more controlled by big venture capitalists and big corporations and big money that basically controls what news is said. And
why is that blocked? What the hell is going on here?
Wait a second. Did the chat break?
I don't know if chat broke or I'm not seeing it because I've been watching it off to the side. Yeah. This isn't something I don't see this in the chat. You guys, if you guys see this or something, let us know. But I don't see this comment in the chat. And then there's another one too.
Propaganda.
And then RC Cape Cod has a comment here that I didn't see.
Charity is a crime.
Yeah, what on darn earth? Like I said, they don't want us to tell you. They don't want us to talk about it.
Yeah.
You see it. Okay, Thompson says he sees it. I see them. All right, well, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Maybe I just have you guys blocked because I don't like you, motherfucker. I choose business ethics.
One of my favorite lines from a movie.
RD Enduro with 10 points sneaking in.
Hey, Enduro.
Good job.
One of my favorite lines from any movie was the principal. At no point did you answer the question at all. Nothing that you said resembles an answer in any way, shape, or form. All of us are now dumber because of what you just said. There are so many times where that should just be played after the crap that some people say in the media. They should just pause the show and just play that segment and let everybody know that, yeah, what in probably 90% of the view would just be that clip getting repeated. They would say something, and then that clip.
Is there a part? Is there enough? Is there like enough where you could lose enough intelligence to where you just can't talk anymore? Like you just.
Actually, I just saw a video about it is the oldest inbred family in the Appalachians, and evidently they're quite famous.
Is this the white underbelly?
I don't know if it's the white underbelly, but I know that one of the sons or the husband or whatever it is that he is, first of all their eyes are wonky, but this guy can't even talk. He just barks. That's how he communicates, is he just that's all he does. And it's freaking.
I know a couple live show hosts that are like that.
It was freaking weird. I watched this video and I was like, oh my God, they had an X-Files show that was like about this crazy family. And it's real.
Ice cream derp.
Oh, one lot, because these people were like, they were derpy derps on top of some derpy derps. That just wow. An example is in the White House. I like that one. I like that one. That's a good one.
100 points.
Yeah, pretty much everybody just needs to stop watching the news. Period.
Everybody just needs to watching the shit that needs to be said show.
Everybody needs to be watching this. All the news that you need to get, you can get right here every Wednesday.
Tell your friends, tell your family, tell people you don't like, tell that guy down the street, tell the dude who makes your barista in the morning. They need to watch this show.
Who makes your barista in the morning?
That
sounds kind of dirty right here.
Sorry, I was making the barista. She's making your coffee.
That's a whole different show right there. That's the shit that needs to be show after show.
Yeah. Oh boy. Mom's gonna send a message here in a minute. I'm in trouble.
Yeah, Mom's got. You're lucky. Nothing yet. But yeah, I mean, cable news, regular news, whatever news is on, pretty much just turn it off, because I did see that that like in 2022, Pfizer sponsored something like 62% of all of the news segments that appeared on the three ABC, CBS, NBC. Like 62% of the the segments of the news were brought to you by Pfizer. Go out and get that vaccine today. We promise you won't go blind or be paralyzed like Jamie Foxx.
That's funny.
They start up Starbucks and Idiocracy. I mean, there's so many. I
feel like I should just change my channel name to Not Sure.
Oh, hey, the other one that I liked that I heard this week is um, basically the Hollywood industry, the heads of the most of the major studios, the VPs, and a lot of the, um, it's basically our fault that movies are doing bad. It's our fault. It's
Right.
our fault.
It couldn't be because Little Mermaid actually sucked. That's our fault.
Indiana Jones, Indiana Jones 5
Up, 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 Nope,
without
hold on. Check
without
this out.
George Lucas.
I thought about this. So just a couple Indiana Jones and the Walker of Doom. Is that like Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Dentures? Is that? I mean, seriously, how old is Harrison Ford right
Indiana
now?
Jones and the Crystal Depends.
Oh my god!
Yeah, they made an Indiana Jones movie without George Lucas and without Steven Spielberg, and they don't understand why everybody's absolutely crapping all over the trailer. They also made Indiana Jones. I guess is it his granddaughter? Is that who it's? I think that's it's supposed to be his granddaughter.
I haven't
But
even paid attention.
the
Like
actress that they
I've been
got to
invested.
the actress that they got to play her is like this totally like crazy feminist. But from what I understand from people that have seen Indiana Jones 5 is they basically emasculate Indiana Jones and his granddaughter, who appears to be the heir apparent to the Indiana Jones franchise, like totally has to save Indiana Jones's ass. And
Right.
it's what on earth? What left-handed epileptic chimp came up with that storyline? I'm
Somewhere there's an RC live show just having a shit fit.
I mean, look, She-Hulk, I made it through literally 20 seconds of She-Hulk. And I had to turn that. That was when I still had Disney Plus. I made it through 20 seconds. I tried, and it was such garbage. I mean, I can do better CGI on Adobe Premiere than was in that multi-million-dollar production. Not to mention, well, why? Why? Look, women are great. Men, we love women. You're fantastic. But this whole women dominated society thing isn't reality. That's why the movies suck. They just suck. They completely changed the Little Mermaid at the
But
end.
this is our fault, dude.
She doesn't get saved by Eric. She saves herself. They changed the story to make Ariel more, I am woman, hear me roar. Just stop. Stop. I realize it's our fault because,
Men are better, you know. I don't.
oh, hey, guess what? So I'm sure everybody probably heard about the U.S. Women's national team that went over
Oh
and
my
played
god.
in the tournament in UK and played a bunch of retired UK football guys. One of these guys was literally looked like he's 60 years old. It took the men's team 3 minutes to score the first goal. It took them 44 minutes to score the remaining 11 goals. The women's team never even made it to the men's side of the field. Ever. In 44 minutes, they did nothing but defend against the men who outplayed them. But it was not even fair. The only bright spot for the U.S. women's team was the fact that their goalie was absolutely ridiculous how good she played. She played like a hockey goalie. She's out there kicking the ball with her foot and making saves that were absolutely crazy. Every other woman on that team, it wasn't even.
Now that I get the premise of where you're coming from, RC propaganda, that's even more hilarious. I didn't know you're taking an Al Bundy approach to it. You're fucking hilarious, dude.
I'm like Al Bundy over here. Damn Skippy. I mean, look, it just. And the fact that they blame us. They blame. Okay, so Kathleen Kennedy, who single-handedly ruined Star Wars. She ruined LucasArts, period. Destroyed it. She actually said it's because of toxic fandom that these franchises are not successful. I watched The Mandalorian. I watched Boba Fett. I watched Obi-Wan. Mandalorian, I made it through 2 seasons. I made it through the first episode of the 3rd season. Garbage. Absolute trash. Turn that into garbage. Boba Fett, I barely made it through the 1st season. You ruined the coolest character in the Star Wars universe. You ruined him. Absolutely ruined him. Turn into garbage. What was the other one? Mandalorian, Boba. Oh, Obi-Wan. One of the other coolest characters in the Star Wars universe. And all you had to do was make 10 episodes, 30 minutes long, of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader fighting with lightsabers. And that show would have made trillions of dollars. People would have.
Maybe we should get lightsabers.
People would have waded through literal shit to go watch that in a movie theater. Hey, we're just going to screen 10 episodes of Obi-Wan, and guess what? It's like 4.5 hours of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader lightsaber fighting. Done.
I really wasn't. I don't know. I kind of liked it all. I mean, I didn't mind Mandalorian or Boba Fett. I didn't really. I mean, when it gets, I don't know. When you get a little bit in there, then I kind of get a little lost, and I want to do something else because I have squirrel brain. But I didn't think it was all that horrible.
This is the way. By the way, because really what happened with The Mandalorian is it went from being about The Mandalorian to
you're gonna spoil it for me.
The
Grogu,
the sister of the queen that died.
Oh, okay.
They basically turned The Mandalorian from it's not really about The Mandalorian anymore. It's about a woman.
Well, that's one way.
It just happens to be a Mandalorian, but it's not about the Mandalorian. Not to mention, in the 2nd season, really pissed me off that he took his helmet off. Mandalorians never take their helmet off. That is the way. That is the way. They say it in the show like 80 times a show.
He had to save his little buddy Grogu. Which I probably would have just picked up and punted like a fucking football. Like, hey, what's this thing?
Man, they had
Oh boy.
Mom says we're just breeding idiots at the top. Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I just, hey, Disney, if you're watching this, you give me $100 million and I will save your entire empire.
You give me $100 million and I'll sit here and fight the whole time with Rich with lightsabers.
I will fire every single person that works at your company and I will rehire a bunch of people that will make movies and content that people actually want to watch. And it'll be very, very simple. I'll go to the gaming industry and I'll hire back a bunch of the talent that you idiots lost because you didn't want to pay them enough money. Second, I will have Kathleen Kennedy. I will dedicate the entirety of my Disney career to making sure that Kathleen Kennedy never gets to work in the entertainment industry ever again.
Ouch.
No propaganda. It is the strictly no booby zone. Star Wars does not have. They are sexually ambiguous.
There's no tits on the radio.
I love the original Star Wars trilogy. Hated the second trilogy. Never watched any of the TV Star Wars stuff. Give me $100 million and you will not see me ever again.
Yeah. He's gone.
Yeah, you got a point there, propaganda. $100 million goes a long way right now. For $100 million, I could just...
Nah, seriously, you and I, we could fight with lightsabers for 4 hours for $100 million, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't even mind losing an arm at that point.
Yeah,
so
really.
$100 million, I could buy a new one.
It's a flesh wound.
That Boston Dynamics.
Dude, I've been dropping them all day. I feel so Anyways, go ahead.
Hey, Boston Dynamics. And smart guys making all them dog robots and whatnot. $100 million. I'm sure I could pay them to make me a cool.
Just get a cyberpunk arm.
Robot arm.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also a new organization that is taken off. It's called GIS, and it is directed at the space industry because there is not enough equity and diversity in the space industry. It's basically it's all basically white supremacists in space. So we now have the GIS. Gays in space, and they're gonna fight the fight.
Is that really what it is? Or is
yes,
that...
it is. Absolutely, they're going to fight to get more equity and diversity into these space programs. Because Lord knows, when it comes to...
As if you couldn't take up enough here on the world. Now you got to take up space too, huh?
Here's the thing, organizations like NASA and the
space is fake anyways. Oh, that's funny because YouTube wouldn't let you say space is fake.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't know what's going on with YouTube tonight. Evidently, you're not allowed to say space is fake. But
either that or I just don't see it. I don't see it here in the chat. I don't get
it. Every time any space agency kind of gets distracted or they're not quite paying attention 100%, bad things happen. It's hard enough for them to make everything right, to launch people and crap into space as it is, let alone now have to,
YouTube won't allow flat Earth. It wouldn't surprise me.
NASA fake space.
Well, there's another one. It's a tax scam.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it is. Evidently, YouTube does not allow you to talk smack about space. It's not allowed here in the YouTube universe.
Well, the Earth has to be flat. How do we get those RC speedruns?
I like to think of the Earth not necessarily as flat, but more sloped.
It's definitely all downhill from here. I mean, now we're in the last 40 minutes, so I'll give you that.
Oh, man. Wait a minute. Sometimes I have trouble reading my own writing.
I like 19. I like that. That's another one. It did 19 billion to NASA a year.
I had.
But we get pretty pictures of space.
Yeah. I couldn't read my own note here. What I read was what I thought I wrote down was a female goat tender.
Oh,
It was actually referring to the female goaltender the
oh,
U.S. soccer team. But
female goat tender.
I tend to scribble a little bit, so I almost started talking about the female goat tenders because you know.
I had a relationship like that once.
um, oh yeah, the at whatever they're becoming very popular with the YouTube shorts making women look stupid. Um, Not making women look stupid, but making just showing young Gen Z women, showing everybody how stupid Gen Z women actually are. The mainstream media is now pissed off at whatever for making women look stupid.
Oh,
Again,
really?
it's our fault.
Of
It's
course it is.
our fault that these people agree to go onto a podcast and say the dumbest shit possible. And they take clips and put it out there. Millions of people watch it and go, man, that chick's a dumbass. But it's our fault. It's our fault. It's amazing the shit that we're getting blamed for right now.
Right?
No videos of that. One day they just said, hey, look, space station. Um,
I could not
you know
confirm
the
or
you know
deny.
the other really crazy thing happening right now, propaganda is I mean, on top of all the other shit that's falling apart in the world right now, um, now they have an FBI whistleblower that's you know aliens are real. We've been reverse engineering alien technology for decades now.
Well, yeah, dude, we all know that. Or at least I feel like you should know that.
What? How come it is that I mean, there's some pretty juicy stuff coming up in the news right now. There is there's there the Jeffrey Epstein thing is coming to a boiling point here. Hunter Biden, you know, at some point this guy's going to get charged with something, and I'm pretty sure that Pops is just sticking around the White House long enough to pardon him, and then he's just going to throw his hands up in there and say, "Fuck it, I quit. I'm done here. I'm old. I need to go to Delaware and retire and eat ice cream and shit myself in the comfort of my own home." Um,
Oh, yeah, I mean they're faking an alien invasion, looking at Project Blue. I mean they have been for years. They've been faking. Well, and they've been fucking around for years. But I think that's just one side of it. I don't think that's all of it.
well, I think you know, if you go back and watch some of the Bob Lazarus interviews, you know, this guy's been around for decades talking
Yeah,
about how he reverse engineered stuff. He worked at Area 51. They have records showing that they obviously don't have records showing that he worked at Area 51, but they did show that he worked in New Mexico. Uh, you know, he had super high level clearances, very, you know, and this guy's never ever profited. Like, I just saw a thing. Joe Rogan just interviewed him like a year ago, and that guy is still driving around in his uh, custom hydrogen powered like 1992 Camaro. He's not, yeah, Bob Lazar. He's not making a whole bunch of money. As a matter of fact, he hates talking about it. He hates obviously,
mm,
you say something like that and tons of people, but
you
yeah,
might be right. Lazar might have been a setup. I just don't feel that. I don't get that feeling of that situation. I'm not saying you're wrong. I
sorry,
really
so
don't know.
they do that.
I
And
don't
see,
know. You don't know the answers, man. I don't have the answers.
I personally believe what they've said about Area 51 for years, which was the government and the Air Force, they allowed all the UFO stuff to go crazy because that meant that they didn't have to explain what they were doing. And they didn't necessarily, it was an easy cover. Look at a lot of the 80s and 90s UFO sightings. They were triangular aircraft with what appeared to be a row of lights running triangular. If you look at the F-117 strike fighter,
well, yeah, just like you said, you talk about this is really I can't believe the show went here, but we talk about like obviously at some point it's obviously at some point aliens did crash land here, and we have been, and the scare tactic thing is real. I totally buy that. I believe that the government has been faking alien shit for a long fucking time. But I also believe that there are aliens out there that are good aliens and mean as well, and that don't want to have anything to do with any of that shit. That our government is just pieces of shit.
Well, strictly from a mathematical standpoint, it is.
It's almost impossible to say that there's another life, but does that mean it's an intelligent life to fly through space or whatever? I mean, that's one thing, but
mathematically speaking, it's almost certainty that there is life out there. There is. There is, with the number of galaxies and universes and everything that's out there, there are the probability of planets that are the exact same distance from a small sun like ours is,
What I like what propaganda says here about maybe they come from other dimensions and not space. But what if you knew how to fold? What if you knew how to fold space?
Wormholes. Einstein had a theory about wormholes and wormholes in space, that you actually didn't have to travel millions and millions of light years, that you could actually bend time space and travel through wormholes, which yeah, I mean, for me, I believe I believe what I believe, and I'm quite religious myself. I have a strong belief in religion. I am not one of those people that believes that there can't be the existence of aliens. There can't be. I believe it can. I personally believe that there is an infinite amount of knowledge out there that we aren't privy to, because we're just humans down here on planet Earth. We're not we're just a little tiny speck in the grand scheme of things, which is, for all intents and purposes, exactly where we're at in the universe. We're just this little tiny speck in the universe. So there is knowledge out there that we have no clue, no idea. And
no RC propaganda. I'm not going to stare up at the sun in the sky. I don't care what you say.
Sun is not 93 million miles away. That they tell us that's just so dang far. Just look at it. It's round like the moon and right there in the sky.
Yeah, I mean, you talk. He just wants me to burn my eyes out looking at the sun.
Welcome, Mr. Moorhead. It's good to see you.
That was the next thing I was going to say. Yeah, ants playing with cars. Yeah, I mean, you talk about we're really off the philosophical deep end over here.
But you know what? That's the shit that needs to be said show. No topic is off limits. We will talk about anything and everything. And the important thing to remember is that, the whole idea behind this particular show, but it should be behind everybody's everyday communications, which is the open discussion of things that people don't necessarily agree on, but you can still talk about them, and you can still have a discussion, and you can be intelligent, and it doesn't have to inevitably end up into this crazy screaming match that nowadays seems
Well, I would
to.
say that honestly, I just don't know enough. You want me to, you want me to be fair? Is like I just don't know enough about some things, and I got to go back and do a little research and figure it out for myself. So
And see, propaganda is exactly right. Talking about it is healthy, you know, sharing new ideas and opening up. If somebody says something and you're like, "Wow, I did not know that," and that prompts you to go out and do some homework and research and learn something new that you didn't know, then that is good. It's a good thing, especially if somebody tells you something and you are like, "Nope, that is 100% wrong."
nah,
100% wrong. And then you go and do your homework and your research and you're like, holy crap, that's 100% right. Holy crap. Everybody needs to admit when they're wrong.
I
And
like
B,
this. You have to be somewhat smart to talk about stuff. I could talk about mechanics and not about it. I like that. You talk about what you know. A lot of the times, what I will do is pull like a Columbo, though, and be like, "Oh, well, how would you do it? Would you take your hands and wrap it around his neck like this, sir?" Well, yeah, I sure would. It's funny how you have those hand marks the same size as the victim, isn't it? Just gotta. Sometimes I just act stupid, even though I might know better. But I'd rather learn, to be quite honest.
I love to learn. Even at 51 years old, I still love to learn new stuff. I've kind of been that way my whole life. And um, sometimes being in a conversation and talking about something that where, like me not being knowledgeable about something won't necessarily stop me from talking. I'll ask questions. I will, I will want to know more.
Right,
One
devil's
last
advocate. I like that. Yeah, 10 points to Lacos.
um Hey man, it's good to see you too, Riff Raff. I'm glad you got to come on the show and hang out. Yes, Earl at 100%. Life should be a never-ending journey for knowledge and adventure and personal enhancement. You should always be trying to learn more and learning more stuff never hurts. Never hurts. It's always a good thing when you learn something new. I learned something this week. Um, that when you're cutting carbon fiber with a Dremel, that you should in fact wear a respirator or at least plug your vacuum in because the vacuum thing works really good because that carbon fiber dust goes everywhere, everywhere.
Jesus
It's
Christ,
almost
Earl.
like going to the beach with sand.
Dude, Rich is over here breathing in carbon fiber dust. Earl's getting fucking robbed by crackheads. My God, man, are you serious? Like, where were you at? What was going on? I'd love to hear more of this story. That sounds awful, dude. I'm sorry.
And please tell me that you got at least some of it on video. I love me a good crackhead video. Speaking of crackhead videos, TikTok. There's a disturbing new trend on TikTok of people filming themselves driving through neighborhoods, shooting their guns out the window. Which,
wow, this is a thing.
That's a thing now. And also, shout out to Mizzy on TikTok, who decided to gather a couple of hundred of his friends and go into a retail establishment and essentially destroy it for his TikTok video.
Nice.
Yeah.
Mass property damage.
Just destroyed the store. Went through destroying everything, all while he's selfieing himself on TikTok, running around, and people are going, "Oh, Mizzy!
This might be just the greatest thing ever. Oh, Tony Clifton, remote control property damage. Oh my lord.
Propaganda. I haven't watched or seen enough of them to know whether it is a trend of what neighborhoods they're driving through, shooting in, but I'd be willing to bet that everybody could guess what kind of neighborhoods they were driving through. From what I can see, the houses look relatively nice. They're not driving through the ghetto just shooting at houses, because that happens all the time in Chicago and Los Angeles and St. Louis.
Nothing like a vibrant culture.
Nobody ever puts that on TikTok. Which, I heard another. Speaking of gun violence, I heard an interesting statistic the other day, which is a pretty good one. So, the United States ranks somewhere in the neighborhood of the top 5 in as far as gun violence in the world.
Okay.
Depending on where you look, out of the 190 some odd countries that actually tabulate and keep track of all this information, if you take Chicago, St. Louis, Los Angeles, Detroit, New York out, if you take just those 5 cities' numbers out of the tabulation, the United States goes from being in the top 5 to being in the bottom 5. So I would venture to say that we have 5 cities that really suck here when it comes to gun violence. Oh, by the way, the 5 cities that I just named have the strictest gun laws of any cities in the United States. Chicago being number 1.
Where did you get that information from?
If you Google gun violence statistics, I want to say that it's like the World Health Organization, or it's attached to the UN, somewhere attached to the UN.
Just be careful. You don't want to get called Mr. Google. Or Mr. Asshole.
Yeah,
I haven't even had a chance to show this to anybody today. Look at this. Where's Frank?
I'll say, evidently Tony Clifton makes some appearances, and everybody gets all freaking butthurt. Tony Clifton runs around and makes some, and everybody gets all butthurt on their live shows. Go tell your dad jokes somewhere else. So, but Frank might also be fleeing for his life from the massive wildfires that are evidently burning Canada to the ground.
I was in a drive-thru getting food. I didn't have a camera, but he jumped into the back seat.
Sorry to laugh, but that is...
Surprisingly, okay, that's funny, dude. I mean, I feel bad. That's messed up, man.
Yeah. Well, man, California's in trouble. California, there's...
Well, California should just hurry up and fall off into the ocean. So I have beachfront property here.
Which, it's funny, somebody mentioned in the chat earlier that, they were predicting back in the 80s and the 90s, they were predicting that, when the whole climate change thing started, they were predicting that the polar ice caps are going to melt and that all these coastal cities were going to be underwater. And, it's going to... somebody posted a picture of 2 estates in Martha's Vineyard. One being the estate that evidently the Obamas purchased.
Okay.
And in between these 2 estates and along the beach, they're both beachfront properties, is a seawall that was built somewhere in the mid to late 1800s. and they have pictures of it from the early 1900s of the
All right.
seawall in relation to where the ocean and the beach is at, and pictures of it in 2022. And surprisingly, the distance between the seawall and the tide is almost exactly the same. The ocean has not risen up enough to destroy the complete seawall there. Not to mention, the oceans are rising and whatnot, but all these super wealthy, powerful people keep buying beachfront property. You would think they would be buying property in the Rockies, preparing for the, the oceans to rise and to swallow up the beaches. YouTube not liking me tonight. Propaganda is
I didn't see anything that got missed, but I got disconnected from chat for a second too. So
I'm trying to scroll back into the show chat on YouTube to see. And
I used to be good about watching. There was a show where I was really good about watching chat, and now I'm just like, yeah, screw you guys.
Yeah. Oh man, I'll tell you what, propaganda. You want to get me on a roll? We can start talking about the central bank system.
He just made a comment about banks that didn't seem to show up.
Boop. Now it showed up.
I guess you're right. YouTube doesn't like you tonight. 100 bonus points to RC Propaganda for being hated by YouTube.
And an extra 500 bonus points for being hated by YouTube. Because, man, whatever stick climbed up YouTube's butt.
Apparently your opinion just pisses people off, bro.
I cannot believe that more people are not seeing how terribly things are going in the world of banking and economics. It's bad. Has anybody noticed the influx of repossessed cars? The number of repossessed cars has exploded in 2020.
Was that you and me who were having that conversation? I feel like my dad and I talked about this.
It has exploded. I mean, the car industry is all out of whack right now because of pandemic nonsense, supply chain nonsense, all of that. But quite frankly, what happened was the car industry got super greedy and started jacking up all the prices on cars, but people couldn't afford them. So what they started doing is they started monkeying around with the finances the same way that they were monkeying around with financing for houses back in the 90s and early 2000s. And everybody saw what happened in 2008 to the housing industry. We lost a whole bunch of banks, and there was, just got her taken the other day. He had to pay them $17 for some chick with missing teeth. Yeah, I mean, it is. I watch several YouTube channels that deal with.
I don't see how the missing teeth are really relevant, but okay. I'm still trying to figure out how that's irrelevant to the story, other than you just.
Hey, I mean, it is what it is.
Hey, that's all right. If he wanted to bring it up, I'm just like.
But no, this one guy in particular goes to auctions. He has a small personal lot that he sells cars from, and he goes to a lot of auctions. Buys a lot of cars.
$7,000. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Thompson,
going.
I mean, that's no joke. I saw a Ford. It was a 2017 Ford F-150 Raptor with 70,000 miles on it that had been repoed and they had the bank had a limit on it to what the low bid was at this auction, but they don't tell anybody what that is. They put the truck up for auction, and they see where people start putting bids in at. So now this guy is talking about this particular truck because he figured that it would be 25, 30 grand what this truck would auction for. The bank no sell this thing when the bids stopped at 55 grand. After they did the no stop, then the bank will release the reserve information, and the bank was looking at 70 grand minimum for a 5-year-old Ford Raptor that was relatively beat to shit with 70,000 miles on it.
Jesus.
Minimum 70 grand. In 2017, that truck brand new only cost $72,000.
I didn't realize that was sorry, I didn't realize that was a code for meth head. She's 27 and missing mad teeth. You do the math. Well, I'm only going to do this once. Only one time. Just so I can have a little fun here. Maybe she was like me and liked to get punched in the face a lot.
Now, I have to say that I've known JB for several years, and I had no idea that the uppers were falsies. It's pretty good because I know multiple people that have those, and generally when you have a full denture up top, you tend to get a little lispy.
No, I'm good.
That's
actually I talk better with men.
It's actually it's pretty. You do damn good. Kudos, 50 points to JB.
Woo!
For that one. TRX for 80, just sold it for 100. Yeah, I mean you can literally buy new trucks and resell them for more money than what you paid for them.
My money's still. I'm not saying you're not wrong. Just. I'm sure she probably didn't like to get punched in the face. I didn't like it here.
Yeah, the used car industry is going to flop really. Before the end of the year, I believe is what a lot of people are saying is the used car market is going to fall flat on its face because banks and auction houses and dealerships, private and corporate dealerships, they can't keep the inventory of cars that they had been buying, and they can't necessarily sell them. So at some point, in order to just get rid of them, they're going to have to take massive losses. Uh-oh. It's predicted some areas could start seeing noises about digital money. Yeah, Mom talking about digital money.
Fake money. RD Enduro. I like. Yeah. What is it?
Interest rates kind of suck now. Yeah. Well, it's now commonplace for people's car payments. I mean, there's all kinds of videos about there, people talking about their car payments being well into four figures. $1,200, $1,400, $1,600 a month for a car payment.
Well, what about like I've heard in people's insurance doubling?
Yeah. So I saw a guy explain in 2017, if you bought a car for $30,000, you would pay $500 a month for 5 years, 60 months.
Sure. Okay.
Right now in 2023, if you were to buy if you can find a $30,000 car with interest rates that they are, in order to get that same $500 payment, you would have to finance it for 72 months. So you'd have to add a whole extra year of $500 a month in order to keep your $500 a month payment. Otherwise, your payment's going to jump up to $650, $700 a month. And that's just interest rates.
Wow.
But if you couple everything else that has gone on, that in 2017, the average price of a Ford F-150, which is the best-selling vehicle on the planet, average price was $37,000. 2023, the average price for a Ford F-150 right now, XLT, the base model, is $49,000. So in 5 years, they have increased the price by over $12,000. Now that $12,000 has to get financed in order to meet people's needs, because most people are looking at it that they don't care how long they're paying. They just want to, I need to be able to afford my car payment. I need a car. I need to be able to afford my car payment. So now you can get a loan for a car that is all the way out to 86 months for a car loan. That is like 8.5 years of financing for a vehicle. Not to mention, are they stretching it out? But that's, 60 months to 80 months is, 20 months of extra interest that's getting collected during your payment process. And this is just over the period of the last 5 years. There was a gentleman that talked about what they call the 35% rule, which is you should never buy a car that is more than 35% of your annual salary. But the average American annual salary in this country is $67,000 a year, and at 35%, that would mean the most expensive car that you could buy at $67,000 a year is about $31,000. Do you know how many cars there are available on the market right now for $31,000 or below? 6. You would have 6 cars to choose from. 3 of them are Kias. 1 of them is a Chinese truck that you buy like from Amazon for $12,000.
Oh my God.
You actually can't buy it in California because it's not smog legal.
Being morbid. Thanks, Dad.
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely insane what's happening with car prices right now, car financing, and that is another bubble that at some point is going to pop, and that's going to be ugly. I looked online last week because I still, year and almost, we're coming up on our second year here in Tennessee. We still haven't bought a second car since I sold my truck when we moved from California so that we only had to transport 1 car. Because I work from home, we don't necessarily need 2 cars. But I have been looking, and I want to get a new truck. I was preferably looking for a 4-wheel drive Ford F-150. Here in the Tri-Cities area, there is not a Ford F-150 of any package that is selling for less than $82,000. $82,000.
Dude, both of these comments are great comments. I love it. Babies are going to be born into debt soon, and that's the other thing we talked about. That is like, what the tattoo thing and the whole. You're going to pass your debt on to your kids. You're just going to continue to. And then I like this. You can't sell a work truck to the average worker now.
No, the average worker cannot afford
a work truck.
Yeah, and that's literally the Ford F-150 is still the cheapest full-size truck.
I'll see you next Tuesday.
Hey, that's got to be Mr. James. Howdy, sir. It's good to see you. Thank goodness that our tiny truck prices have only gone up just a scotch here in the last few years. Just a scotch. Except for Element, who's bringing it with an RTR $299. I do have to say that is I like the SCX10 2 early Bronco. I think it's a 2, not the 3. The early Bronco. I can't understand why you need to pay $550 for that thing. It's an
That's just so damn cool, man.
You can get the SCX10 3 Jeep. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt that it's the SCX10 3 early Bronco for $549, but you can get the SCX10 Jeep Gladiator for RTR for like $379. So why is the early Bronco, it's a 3? Okay, it is a 3. So why is the early Bronco so much more expensive? Because it's got a plastic cage on it and
Dude, if I gotta learn or speak Chinese, I'm fucking screwed, man.
Yeah, you and me both. I literally tried to learn Spanish, working with Spanish people for like 8 years, and I can barely speak enough to sound stupid in Spanish.
RC Propaganda, I think, had it right with the body. The body detail is probably where the price point comes from. I have taken one apart, and I mean there is a lot of shit there.
Yeah.
Is there $200 something worth of shit there? Well, that's hard for me to say, but
it's like RC 4-wheel drive came out with an aluminum rack for the Phoenix that bolts onto the top of the fake bed on the Phoenix, and they have 2 versions of it. One's $109 and one's $80, and it's literally a flat stamped piece of light gauge steel that they powder coat, and then they bend it into place, and then they got some little plastic things that go on the side of it, and they're charging $100 for it. There's a lot of crap in the RC industry that's overpriced, but I gotta say, it is nice to see companies like Red Cat, Element, Cross RC seems to do. They like half and half. Sometimes their stuff is like ridiculously overpriced, and you're like, why? And then some of their stuff is priced okay, but
how do I get rid of steering play at a crazy how Lexan bodies are near price? Yeah, I feel like Lexan bodies have gone up quite a bit. I don't feel like they were so pricey before, but
what, and they're adding all the little bits to it, like, oh well, screw a little plastic light bucket on there and charge you an extra $40
at the link end.
Mr. Brown's going to become an illegal immigrant.
So, that didn't get that. I don't see that in the YouTube chat.
Oh, there we go.
I'm over here reading the YouTube chat. You're over here reading the stream guide. That's probably for the best, honestly. Yeah, I didn't catch that comment.
How do I get rid of steering play?
Proline lean. Is that really a thing? Proline lean? What is the lean part? What do they make them slim? What the fuck is that? Or is that the body style?
Huh? I don't know.
Or Proline Lexan. Maybe he meant Lexan.
Oh,
I'm sorry, because I don't know. I'm not Proline's okay stuff, but it's not. I don't know, man.
I personally, I like. I still have it floating around here somewhere. The Proline Ford Raptor body. To me, that I've had a couple of them. They were good. I have one. I did buy the cliffhanger body. Proline has a problem with varying thicknesses on their body. It seems like all of their Lexan bodies, they get super, super thick up in the cab when it's first getting vacuum sealed down. And once it starts to get pulled down, it starts to thin it out. Mm-hmm. And they don't ever seem to be able to get it consistent, because as you're trying to cut out like the wheel wells, you'll notice like halfway through the wheel well, you're like, damn, this is like super tough to cut. And then you'll get to the end of it and you're like, it's practically just slicing through like paper.
Right.
But the I got to say, I do like the Proline Raptor, Ford Raptor body. That is, out of all of them, I had the Chevy Colorado body. That was shit. The Cliffhanger body isn't that great. Not to mention it just kind of looks hokey with the pinched front and back. I just have it because it's my LCG rig, and I don't want the tires to scrape on the body all the time.
Yeah, that's what I thought he meant. I don't know why the Cliffhanger body was what came to mind. And when I thought lean, I was like, okay. But yeah, no, I don't know. I'm, like you said, a fanboy. I don't know. I don't know as if I've had a really good luck with any Lexan body. The Traxxas body that I bought for the Slash, but it was a replacement from the Traxxas. That was an okay body.
I'm fairly impressed with the Baja Ray body. That's some pretty good Lexan there. Although I give a lot of credit to Losi, because Losi as a whole just seems that their bashers seem to be good. I
just
know.
Stick Bud Light stickers on it. Way to go, Dad. Dad's got the right idea. Here you go. I got you this sheet of Bud Light stickers. Just throw that on there. Nobody will know that Proline body is absolute crap.
Nobody will even care at that point. You'll be the Dylan Mulvaney of the RC community.
Shit, yeah, it wouldn't matter what body you put on there. You throw those stickers on. Ain't nobody gonna fucking.
Man, you know what? We hit the 2 hours.
I know.
This is see, and like I said, this was a free flow show. There was like no main topic or anything to talk about. It was just a bunch of random.
Yeah, thank God for all the people who hung out here in chat and put up with our bullshit today, because.
And I mean, we had some new faces in here today. I mean, Riff Raff is an old face, but he's a new face in the show. RD Enduro. I don't believe I've seen him on the show.
I think he came in once.
All right, I am probably his. I just forgot, but yeah, it's good to see Jay from RC Propaganda too. Say hello to Billy and the rest of the RCU Next Tuesday gang over there. We didn't make fun of Kev Talbot's hair today. Kind of feel sad.
I really didn't poke fun at anybody today. I was being pretty gentle.
It is kind of odd. We had a whole show where we didn't really poke fun at anybody in the RC industry. So
I don't want people to think I'm a total asshole.
I know that somebody did talk about play in the steering. How do you get rid of play in the steering? Depends on where the play is happening at. If it's in the steering link between the hub, the C hub, and the servo itself, pretty much the only thing you can do when your links start getting sloppy is you just got to replace the link. I've noticed sometimes that generally the screw that I'll screw the link into my servo horn, if I forget to put Loctite on there and it backs out just a little bit, the steering gets super wonky on me.
Change the pivot ball or the rod end. Those are good answers too. I mean, I mean, pretty much just kind of,
you basically start at the C hub and start working your way back to the servo until you figure out which part it is that's gone sloppy.
Yeah, I know. We're absolutely no help here. I'm sure we just. He's more baffled than he was when he asked the fucking question.
Couple of RC experts hosting an RC show. Hey, how do you do this? We have no clue.
Next week, I'm going to do a shitty review on a shitty product.
Oh, hey, shout out and a thank you to everybody. My channel hit 1,600 subscribers in the last week. Actually, just kind of jumped over and went to 1,603. So thank you to everybody when you come back in the replay and watch this. Thank you to everybody that has subscribed. And hey, that's the alarm. But it is time to wrap up this week's show. It's that sad time of the week when the shit that needs to be said show must say our goodbyes, and hope to see you next week. And once again, thank you to everybody that came in and hung out today. Thank you for Mr. JB for coming out and hanging
Oh
out.
no, you got to let me drag this on for at least another 20 minutes while I just kiss your ass to be here.
No, it is an absolute highlight of my week, getting to do the show, getting to hang out with my friend JB and just talking about random shit, because a lot of times when I start talking about this kind of shit to my wife, she's like, talk about it on the show. But yeah, thank you everybody. Thank you to Mom. I know she's watching the show tonight. One Lacos, Jay, Mr. Brown, Propaganda, Enduro, One Lacos, Sean's RC Adventures that was in here, RD Enduro, Propaganda, RC Cape God, Earl Moorhead. We missed our friend NorCal today. Man, RC All-Star, All-American, All-Star, sadly missed today.
What about the two Tony Cliftons that were in here earlier?
We did. We had two. We got two Tonys in here today. Thompson.
Anyways,
thank you.
I want to go eat. So
yeah, have a wonderful week, everybody. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you back here next Wednesday night for more shit that needs to be said. And here we are at the awkward moment when we wait for this live broadcast.